Hey, what is up, everybody? I'm here to give you guys the What's Better, Raw or Smackdown series, episode 35. Yes, this is the 35th episode, and if you've not seen this show before, pretty much what this consists of is it's pretty much a way for me to compare both Raw and Smackdown. I usually do a review of both shows, and at the end, I usually say which show was better, and then yeah, that's pretty much what I'm going to do here. And I'm going to do that all in different takes. In this take, I'm going to be doing um, the preview for both shows, so I just want to get right into that. Because while I actually starts in, Raw starts in 46, no, sorry, 43 minutes. No, I think it's 44 minutes. So I just want to get right into this review. I apologize. I should redo this, but sometimes you have to have those fuck ups in life. So let's just get right into it. So I'm gonna start by previewing Raw. I think Raw looks like a pretty exciting show. I really don't know what's going on going into it. We're gonna have the Miz TV segment with Jason Jordan. I'm looking forward to that. Jason Jordan's obviously a part of the big storyline since he's been, um, you know, uh, since a couple of weeks ago. It's just been known in storyline that he's Kurt Angle's son. So I actually kind of can't wait to see what they do together. And I do expect that we're going to get probably a setup to an Intercontinental Championship match at SummerSlam between The Miz and Jason Jordan. And I think that could be something special. We also have a triple threat match between Roman Reigns, Samoa Joe, and Braun Strowman. We'll be watching that match, considering the fact that Roman Reigns is in it, and if Roman Reigns doesn't turn heel, I don't watch. So that's how it works. And we have other things though I'm looking forward to on Raw. I'm trying to think what else. I'm kind of looking forward to seeing how they're gonna build up going into SummerSlam. And Raw I think could be a good show. It's been actually pretty good the past few weeks, so I actually kind of can't wait for Raw. As for SmackDown, this is the first time in a little while that I've been looking forward to watching SmackDown, considering the fact that SmackDown's just been utter crap. So I'm kind of looking forward to see what they're going to do. We have a rematch for the United States Championship between AJ Styles and Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens is invoking his rematch clause because he lost his title to AJ Styles last week. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully, this match is better than the past matches have been at Backlash, and then the most recent one at Battleground. So I can't wait to see what they do with that match. Not really sure what they're going to set up, if they're going to change the title again, or if they're going to have AJ Styles retain his title and do something else with these two. I really wish, though, that they could have had like one really good pay-per-view match. Someone tells me that the match that I'm going to see on SmackDown this week is going to be better than the two pay-per-view matches. And obviously, we have the first time ever match. It's going to be the artist, which is not the artist, but that's what they like to call him. The artist known as Shinsuke Nakamura versus John Felix Anthony Cena, where the winner is going to be facing Jinder Mahal for the WWE Championship at SummerSlam. This is a match that I'm really looking forward to. I really wish they weren't giving it away on a SmackDown, but I mean, they pretty much have to do this at this point because SmackDown's been crap the past few weeks. It was good last week, but not, recently. So I kind of can't wait to see Cena versus Nakamura to see how they're going to work together. But yeah, I really wish they would have done more to build up to this match. And I'm looking forward to other stuff on SmackDown. Also, how SmackDown's going to build up to SummerSlam. Um, so that should be interesting. But yeah, that's pretty much the preview. I know this wasn't a very long preview, but yeah, just wasn't a very long preview. But sometimes that stuff happens. So yeah, haven't decided if I'm going to live tweet or Facebook doing Raw yet. I probably won't, but we're going to have to wait and see. But yeah, that's my thoughts, and I'm just going to start. I'm just going to end off this take, and yeah, I'll talk to you guys after I'm done reviewing Raw. All right, so let me just start off by talking about Raw for July 31st, 2017. We had Corey Graves, Michael Cole, and Booker T on commentary for this show. I'm just going to start off by talking about the things I liked and didn't like. I'm going to talk about the things I liked first, but there wasn't a whole lot of stuff. I like this tag team match with the Hardy Boys and Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. You had the Revival on commentary for this match. I thought they did a very good job on commentary. This was a good tag team match. We've seen this match before, but I still thought this was a good tag team match. You have the Hardys win. I think the Hardys needed to win this match, considering the fact that they have lost to both these teams the past few weeks. Then afterwards, they attacked the Revival, and then all the teams start rolling. Jeff Hardy lays out Dawson with the Twist of Fate Stunner, and then Matt Hardy lays him out with the Twist of Fate himself, and then Jeff Hardy does a dive onto everybody off the stage. That would be cooler if the stage was a little bit higher, but since the stage is like 2 feet now, it's not as cool anymore. And I am kind of enjoying this program that all these teams are having together. I really still kind of wish that they had turned Gallows and Anderson face, because after last week, I thought they made pretty good baby faces. So I really wish that they had turned them face. And the question I do have is, where is this? Is this going to lead to a triple threat tag team match at SummerSlam? I think that's a little bit of an odd direction to go. Consider the fact that the tag team title match looked like it's not as for what it looks like for the Raw Tag Team Championships. It doesn't look like it's going to involve any of these teams in it. So I think they're just going to throw them into a three-way match. And yeah, I kind of am a little bit excited to see that. Then another segment I like the segment with Bray Wyatt and Finn Balor. What I did not like about this segment was just Bray Wyatt just constantly just talking out of his ass and just saying stuff you don't even understand. And it's so tough to take him seriously just because of how much damage has been done to his character. But I did think he cut a solid promo. And then afterwards, I liked, that he had Finn Balor come out. And, his entrance came off and he teleports to the ring. And he's just doing his pose. And then Bray Wyatt goes to attack him from behind. He hits the Pele kick on him. And then the drop kick to the ropes. And then the drop kick, sending him into the crowd. I liked that. That was a nice touch. And yeah, Finn Balor and Bray Wyatt. The feud isn't the best, but I am looking forward to seeing those two get into the ring with each other at SummerSlam, especially if it means that we're going to get the Demon Finn Balor at SummerSlam as well. And, I think they're going to have a solid program. And then, who else? What else did I like on Raw? I want to think of other things. So I can't really think of anything else other than the Universal Championship build-up. I think that might have been it. There really wasn't a lot of stuff I liked on this show. We had the Universal Championship build-up. You had Kurt Angle come out in the beginning of the show, announce the matches for Raw and stuff, and then Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman came out, and Paul Heyman even cut the promo talking about how he knows what Kurt Angle is doing, how he knows that Kurt Angle wants to get that Universal Championship off of Brock Lesnar because he knows that it's going to be best for Raw, and the chairman and the board of directors are having him protect Raw. That's why they're throwing him in this Fatal 4-Way match with the Monster Among Men, Braun Strowman, The Undertaker retiring Roman Reigns, and the Samoan disgrace Samoa Joe. He even says that he actually wants Samoa Joe to win this match as they've been friends for years. And he even talks about how everyone's just going to end up gaining up on Brock Lesnar, and they're all just going to fight amongst themselves and pin each other because Brock Lesnar doesn't have to get pinned or submit to lose the WWE Universal Championship. And then afterwards, Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar announced that if Brock Lesnar loses the WWE Universal Championship at SummerSlam, they're both going to leave WWE. And then they say that at the end of the night, though, that's not going to happen. They're going to announce that still reigning and defending WWE Universal Champion, Brock Lesnar. And I loved Heyman's promo, obviously, because he's great on the mic. And, I like that the WWE is capitalizing on the news about the fact that Brock Lesnar, is possibly going to be leaving to go to UFC. They're kind of capitalizing on that news that was leaked out a couple of weeks ago. Or like last week, I forget exactly when. And I like the fact that they're gonna have that they had Brock Lesnar make this announcement because that's actually builds interest into this match. I hear though that he is scheduled that he possibly is gonna win because he is scheduled to work the No Mercy pay per view, which is the next Raw exclusive pay per view. So I did hear that he's scheduled to work that show. So we're gonna have to wait and see about what happens there. Um, but yeah, overall, I loved that they made this announcement. If Brock Lesnar were to lose, though, I think that would make it more interesting, which I think he should lose. And then always the other stuff I liked about it was building up to this triple threat match. You had each guy in that match cut little promos on about the match. I didn't see Roman Reigns because I don't watch the segments until he turns heel because the protest continues. And then Samoa Joe loved his promo. He talked about when he came into WWE, how he's owned Roman Reigns, how he's going to destroy Braun Strowman for getting involved in his business, and how he's not afraid of Brock Lesnar. I loved Braun Strowman's interview where he talks about how normally two men who have a problem with each other either settle it by sending texts on their phones or just having a sit down discussion. But he just causes chaos and breaks things. And he says that he wants to hurt Roman Reigns, and he asks what Samoa Joe can do to him that Roman Reigns hasn't already done to him. And then he says that he's going to dispose of Roman Reigns and Samoa Joe so that way he can have Brock Lesnar honor himself at SummerSlam, which I loved his interview segment. And the triple threat match, didn't see it because it's involving Roman Reigns. Question I do have, though, is why didn't this match main event the show? This was billed as like a big main event, and this is like, the SummerSlam main event was in the second hour of the show. It didn't make any sense at all. So yeah, I don't really think that made sense. That was like not the main event of the show. Roman Reigns winning, not really going to complain about it because I didn't see it, so I'm not going to complain about it. And then yeah, that's really all I cared for in Raw this week was that stuff. Then everything else I could just take it or leave it. I really did not care about the Cruiserweight six-man tag team match. I just really didn't care about it between Cedric Alexander, Rich Swann, Akira Tozawa, with Titus O'Neil inside facing Arya Daivari, Tony Nese, and TJP. Tony Nese I think is bland as hell, and I just do not find anything interesting about him for someone. So I just do not care about Tony Nese. Not a bad talent. I just don't, just not that interested in him. You had, and this was obviously used as a way to build up to the Cruiserweight Championship number one contenders match that Akira Tozawa and Arya Daivari are having on 205 Live, which they had last night, which I have to watch, which I will watch that when I get a chance. Don't really understand why didn't they just have that match on Raw last night? So that actually would have given people a chance to give a crap about the Cruiserweight division. At this point, if you're not going to feature the Cruiserweights all that promisingly on Raw, just keep them on 205 Live. But they're not going to do that. You had the face team win. Fine. But yeah, I just really do not care about this Cruiserweight six-man tag. Why is Cedric Alexander not the one in the Titus brand instead of Akira Tozawa? That's what I saw here. Makes no sense. And I totally expect Akira Tozawa to be the one to win that number one contenders match and face Neville. This Arya Daivari push is not working at all, and I hope that they just scrap it. But because of the WWE, since they gave Jinder Mahal a world title, I could see them just having Jinder Mahal be the one to face, not Jinder Mahal, not Arya Daivari to be the one to face Neville. He's a jobber in the Cruiserweight division, and now all of a sudden he's just being taken seriously. It makes no sense. But I like, I do like the fact that Akira Tozawa and Arya Daivari are having that match, though. I didn't really care for the women's segments on this show this week. You had Alexa Bliss cut an interview that wasn't even used to build up a match between her and Bayley. If anything, it just built up a feud between her and Sasha, or the fact that Sasha's going to possibly turn heel on Bayley. And then you had the match with Bayley and Nia Jax, a match we've seen thousands of times, and it's the same match every time. And then you had Alexa Bliss try to interfere, but yet Bayley's still able to win the match anyways. And she wins by countout, and then Bayley just escapes and runs away. Whatever. Bailey, they did so much damage to Bailey, and Bailey does so much. It really makes no sense that she's all of a sudden #1 contender to the Raw Women's Championship. And if she wins this title at SummerSlam, it's not going to feel special at all because it's going to be weird. If anything, you should capitalize on the fact that Bailey's kind of looked weak. If anything, they just kind of Bailey more because you had Alexa Bliss. Yes, she's being a heel, but she pretty much just put down Bailey and really didn't. They didn't push that feud at all. So it was stupid. What else did I not care for in Raw this week? The Miz TV segment with Jason Jordan. The segment really wasn't that bad, but Jason Jordan's theme song, it's like a remixed version of American Outfit's theme song. It's terrible. You know, The Miz wants him to join up with him to help guide him. Jason Jordan says he's all good. Jason Jordan's mic skills are terrible. And at the end, it ends up being whether Jason Jordan hits a belly-to-back suplex on, sending him right into Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel. I like the idea of them having a feud, though, and I think that you should put the Intercontinental Championship on Jason Jordan to kind of, validate his push. I really hate the fact that we have not seen Jason Jordan or Kurt Angle together at all since they've made that announcement. I think they should have done vignettes and help of them spending time together instead of what they are doing. Because you really don't remember that Jason Jordan is his son if Kurt Angle doesn't mention it every week. They really haven't done anything big to follow up with that. It's just Jason. It just feels like Jason Jordan was just signed to Raw and he does nothing. I didn't care for the match between Elias versus Kalisto. Yes, he's just Elias now. Really weird. I like this concert, obviously, because that's the way he gets heat, but this match I didn't really care for. I completely forgot that Kalisto was signed with WWE, and Elias obviously wins. He wins with the Drifter. Forget the name of this new finisher, but they just said, Drift Away. He wins with the Drift Away, and whatever. What else did I not care for? This segment really wasn't that bad, but the way they did it was awful. You had Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose backstage earlier in the night, and pretty much Dean Ambrose says that he doesn't want to Dean Ambrose is getting interviewed by Renee Young, his wife, which they didn't even put up that it was his wife at all. And Dean Ambrose says that, that he admits that it was pretty cool to see him and Seth Rollins team up again, and Seth Rollins, wants to team up with him again. And Dean Ambrose says that he still doesn't trust Seth Rollins, so he denies it. So Seth Rollins gets upset about it. So then later on, he gets confronted by Cesaro and Sheamus, and Cesaro and Sheamus are making fun of him that Dean Ambrose won't tag with him. So, they just make fun of him, talking about how they could get him his own show on the network, how Dean Ambrose was his last chance for success. So Seth Rollins challenges one of them to a match. Sheamus accepts, and, the match happens. Seth Rollins had like a little bit something new to his theme song. Where it just said burn it down randomly. It was actually really stupid. And then the match was what it was. I thought the match was actually going fine up until the finish. You had Seth Rollins win the match, even though you had Cesaro out there who could constantly interfere. Seth Rollins really just won with a roll-up. Then afterwards, Sheamus and Cesaro beat the crap out of him. Sheamus and Cesaro had like the Celtic Cross double team move. And then afterwards, they go to beat him up some more. Dean Ambrose runs out to make the save. They beat him up too. Sheamus hits a bro kick. No, Cesaro hits the neutralizer on him, and Sheamus hits the bro kick on him. And then they leave. Then afterwards, Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins are backstage. And Dean Ambrose says that the reason that he did it was because he thinks that Seth Rollins planned it that way to put himself in a vulnerable position so that way Dean Ambrose would come out and save him. And if Dean Ambrose didn't go out there and save him, it would have made him look like a jackass. So, yeah. Really, so I guess that's fine. I didn't really care for the fact, though, that they had Seth Rollins beat Sheamus, even though Cesaro constantly kept interfering, and, Cesaro was out there. It would have been better if Sheamus had won. And then you do the attack afterwards, and then you obviously have Dean Ambrose. It really didn't make any sense that he went out there and saved him. Obviously, they're going to do a tag title match between these guys for the Raw Tag Team titles. Why do they have them in this feud? Though it kind of makes the Hardy Boys, Gallows, and Anderson and Revival feud so pointless because they're not even going to be involved in the Raw Tag Team title match. and Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins are going to be involved in the Raw Tag Team title match. It's really weird. Um, if none of this leads to Dean Ambrose turning heel, then what's the point other than you? What's the point? Because if you do a Shield reunion, then Roman Reigns is. I mean, Roman Reigns is in a top spot anyways. Um, Roman Reigns is going to have to be like brought down and back in the mid card to team up with these guys. Because this is pretty much what they are, the mid carders right now. And yeah, that was that. And then obviously we had the Big Cass and Big Show main event. Why they just gave away this match instead of waiting till SummerSlam is beyond me. You had both of them have pretty terrible interview segments. Maybe there's a reason they gave this match, because this match is boring as hell. Big Cass has new theme song again, and it's a little bit better than his old one, but not by much at all. It's still generic as hell. And yeah, you had Enzo Amore come in the win and attack Big Cass, cause it in DQ. Big Cass knocks him out with a big kick, and then Big Show knocks him out, and then the show goes off the air. Did nothing to make me want to watch Raw next week, and I had no interest in this at all. I actually didn't mind the fact that they were doing a Big Cass Big Show feud, but now that I've seen this, it's really lame. Why they continue to do the Enzo Amore Big Cass feud makes no sense to me. But yeah, that was Raw this week. Overall, I thought Raw was really boring. The only segments I enjoyed were the Gallows and Anderson Hardy Boys match, the Bray Wyatt Finn Balor segment. But Bray Wyatt, you have him just so broken in a character that it's not even funny. And then obviously the stuff they did going up in the WWE Universal Championship match. Everything else was awful. Was either just I didn't care about it, or was just an awful segment, or was just bland as hell. So overall, if I had to rate Raw, I'll probably rate it a 4 out of 10. Not that good of a show. So now that I've watched Raw, I'm going to go and watch SmackDown and give you guys my review of that. Okay, so now on to SmackDown for August 1st, 2017. We had JBL, Tom Phillips, and Byron Saxton on commentary for this show. And I'm going to start off by talking about the things that I do not like on SmackDown, because the positives do outweigh the negatives on SmackDown. I did not like the Usos promo where they were pretty much gloating about the fact that they took out the New Day, calling them a bunch of jokes and stuff. Just the Usos cannot talk on the mic, and this definitely showed that. And yeah, this was a pretty bad promo. The one thing about the Usos is, for some odd reason, when they talk on the mic, they just suck. The only time I've enjoyed them on the mic was that rap battle they had with the New Day. Other than that, the Usos just blow on the mic. And this was an example. What I didn't like about it either was the fans kind of ruined this segment, because the Usos did like a parody of the New Day's intro, and they actually thought it was the New Day, even though the Usos and the New Day sound nothing alike, so that was pretty stupid. Another thing I didn't like on this show was the match between Sami Zayn and Aiden English. I do like Aiden English. I like his whole sitting character. It's something different. And it works for him. It gets him good heat. But the question I do have is, I liked him when he did it on NXT too. And yeah, he just beat Sami Zayn, and like I don't even think this match was 5 minutes. This was obviously just there to fill time, and then afterwards, Maria and Mike Kanellis come out and talk about and pretty much gloat about how he lost, talk about how they loved that he lost. This made no sense. That Maria and Mike Kanellis didn't just interfere in the match and cost Sami Zayn, and they really turned Sami Zayn into just a geek. And Mike and Maria Kanellis are just get their characters uninteresting. The person who's the most interesting thing out of this is actually Aiden English. He was the highlight of this segment. But yeah, this match was stupid, and this feud between Sami Zayn and Mike Kanellis is stupid. And then another thing I didn't like on this show was the women's match. It was a tag team match between Becky Lynch and Naomi versus Natalya and Carmella. Natalya and Carmella didn't even get entrances in this match, and you have Natalya, who's the #1 contender to the SmackDown Women's Championship, and you have Carmella, who's the Miss Money in the Bank contract holder. So, but yet they got no entrances. That didn't make any goddamn sense. This match was just really boring, and you had Natalia, who had Naomi trapped in the sharpshooter for a while, and you actually should have just had Naomi tap out right there to show that Natalia could win the SmackDown Women's title to kind of build intrigue into that match, but that didn't happen. And then afterwards, Carmella just tags herself in after Naomi gets to the ropes, gets her into a code of silent submission, but then Naomi reverses it into her submission move, which I don't even know the name of. And then Natalia tries to get in the win. Becky Lynch hits the exploder, preventing Natalia from interfering. And then Carmelo ends up tapping out. So pretty much they just jobbed out their Miss Money in the Bank contract holder. That was pretty stupid. Um, yeah, that was really stupid that they did that. And I guess it really doesn't matter if you're a male or female. If you're the Money in the Bank contract holder, the WWE is going to have you lose all your matches. So that's good equality right there. Um, and now I guess this is going to lead to a match next week between Naomi and Carmella that I don't really have much interest in. Um, and yeah, they've really done nothing with Carmella since she's won the Money in the Bank contract for the SmackDown Women's title. So it's whatever. She's like barely on TV. So I didn't like any of that. I hope Naomi drops this damn title at SummerSlam, but it's probably not going to happen. Well, those were really the only things I hated on SmackDown. Let me start off by talking about the things I like now. I liked the Fashion Files segment this week. These things just get better and better every week. It's Tyler Breeze, and he's trying to find Fandango, and he's got the bulletin board with all the superstars on the wall. And some of those stuff that they have up there is just pretty damn funny. But it shows Fandango, and it shows like a have you seen this guy? Like they're trying to find him, and it says that he's been missing for 25 years, which was really damn funny. And he's trying to figure out how to do it. He's trying to figure out about all this stuff, like how the Ascension suddenly just love classic music and stuff. And then he starts drinking coffee, and he has like a hallucination. He sees Fandango and the Ascension walk up, and Fandango's dressed up in his old tango gimmick that he had back in like 2014, 2015-ish, which I thought was really funny. And you see Connor like pouring coffee onto like a log, which was hilarious. And Tyler Breeze like, what is it with these metaphors? No more metaphors, no more metaphors. You can see that this was all a dream. Tyler Breeze wakes up, and then he says, I know who took Fandango. And then the says to be continued. And yeah, I'm loving the Fashion Files. I think it's really doing a good job of getting Breezango over as a tag team, and they're just really damn funny, and I love it. Um, and I hope that this does lead to eventually Breezango getting a run with the SmackDown Tag Team Championships, because I think that would be awesome. And then we also have another thing I liked on SmackDown this week was the match between Rusev and Chad Gable. I thought that was actually a pretty good match right there. I thought Chad Gable showcased his skills really well, and Rusev showcased his skills really well. Both men, I think, looked pretty strong in that match. You had Rusev, who was the powerhouse, constantly taking down Chad Gable, and then you had Chad Gable being the babyface underdog, hitting the belly-to-belly suplex, the German suplex, the moonsaults, and then you had Rusev hit a kick to the back of the head, and then Rusev went for the accolade. Chad Gable reverses it into the ankle lock, and you think Rusev's going to tap out, but Rusev fights out of it and knocks Gable out of the win. Then Gable gets back in. Rusev hits a super kick into the accolade for the win. So Rusev went over, but I still think Chad Gable was able to showcase his skills, and hopefully he can get a push out of this because he's had some good matches lately. And they've been featuring him pretty well. And I would like to see both members of American Alpha get separate persons and separate brands, and then eventually, if you do another Superstar Shakeup, you can either bring Chad Gable, to Monday Night Raw, and if Jason Jordan's already turned heel by then, you can have him go after Jason Jordan. I think that would be pretty cool. But we're gonna have to wait and see on that. Then afterwards, though, Rusev gets on the mic and pretty much talks about how since he's come to SmackDown Live, nobody's willing to face him. He talked about how when Cena beat him, he just beat him in a flag match. He didn't physically beat Rusev. So he says that nobody's man enough to face him at SummerSlam. So then Randy Orton comes out and he tries to get in the ring, but Rusev stops him every time. Then Randy Orton gets on the mic and says that if I were you, I wouldn't want me in that win either. So then Rusev allows him to come in the win, and Randy Orton says that he's not afraid of Rusev, and he wants to face him at SummerSlam. And then Rusev says something in Bulgaria. He goes to attack Orton. Orton ducks and hits an RKO on him. And yeah, now the match is official. It's going to be Randy Orton versus Rusev at SummerSlam. Don't have much interest in that match. The only reason I'm really interested is I'm happy it's not Randy Orton versus the Great Khali, which also makes it pointless of why they brought the Great Khali back at Battleground, but not really going to complain too much about it because I'd rather see Orton versus Rusev than Orton versus Khali. I think Orton versus Rusev will be a decent match, but it's clear that Randy Orton's going to win. And he needs to win too because he's lost a lot of his credibility in that feud with Jinder Mahal, so he needs to gain that credibility gap. So I think Randy Orton needs to win, but if Rusev won, I'd be okay with that too. And then we had another thing I liked on SmackDown was the United States Championship match between United States Champion AJ Styles and Kevin Owens. I thought this was a really good match up until the finish. You had Kevin Owens dominating the beginning when Styles went for his dropkick. Owens hit a clothesline from behind, and he dominated the first little bit of the match. Then AJ Styles started to make his comeback. He goes for the phenomenal forearms. Owens rolls out of the win, and then he hits the forearm, a springboard forearm outside the ring. And then he throws Owens into the barricade. He goes to hit a splash while Owens is against the barricade. Owens moves out of the way, and Styles hits the barricade moves first. And then Owens hits a cannonball while Styles is in the barricade. And he starts dominating the match after doing commercial. He hits a suplex to Styles from the apron coming into the ring. And then eventually Styles starts to make his comeback. He hits a fisherman's carry neck breaker. And he gets him Owens into the calf pressure twice. And Owens is able to get out of it both times. One by just hitting the headbutt, the other one by getting to the ropes. And Owens hits two super kicks on Styles, and Styles is able to kick out of that. Then eventually the finish comes, and the finish is when it gets weird. So Owens goes to hit Styles with a right hand, and Styles ducks it, and then the referee gets hit. But if you watch the replay back, you can clearly see that the referee didn't get hit, so it made it look a little bit more goofy. And then Owens goes for the pump-up powerbomb onto AJ Styles. Styles reverses it into a roll-up. The referee comes to. He starts making the count, and Owens' shoulder is up. But since the referee is dazed from getting hit, he doesn't see it. So the referee counts 3. AJ Styles retains the United States Championship. Owens is pissed. And the medical staff is attending to the referee. And yeah, Kevin Owens is just pissed about this. And yeah, that finish was terrible. It does suck because you have Kevin Owens and AJ Styles who are capable of going out there and having great matches, but the finishes always suck. At Backlash, you had the AJ Styles get counted out because he got caught in wires in the announcers table. At Battleground, you had pretty much the same thing happen where the referee got knocked down and Kevin Owens ended up hitting the roll up on Styles. So it does suck that, and then here you have the same thing happen where the referee got knocked down. So it does suck that they, did this finish here. So I think it kind of sucked. And I hope that it's because then what happens is Kevin Owens just goes backstage. I wait after Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon are checking on the referee, and he talks about how he got screwed. He starts attacking the referee. Shane McMahon tells him to calm down. You have every right to be upset, but you shouldn't be attacking referees. Which I'm surprised he didn't just fine him for it, which he probably will get fined storyline-wise anyways, but you get what I'm saying. So Kevin Owens wants his rematch, and Shane McMahon grants him the rematch for the U.S. title. But Kevin Owens said that's not all he wants. He wants a competent referee to be able to call the match. So Daniel Bryan then says that the referee for the U.S. title match is going to be Shane McMahon, and Kevin Owens says that he doesn't want that because he's probably the worst person out there. But Shane McMahon says that if you want the rematch, I'm going to be. It's either with me or the referee, or the match is canceled. So Owens reluctantly agrees to the match. So yeah, we're going to get Owens versus Styles for the U.S. title. Hopefully at SummerSlam they can have a good match, but I have a feeling a lot of the focus is going to be on building to a match between Kevin Owens and Shane McMahon, then AJ Styles and Kevin Owens' match itself. and a lot of the story around the match now is going to be built into a match between Kevin Owens and Shane McMahon, then instead of the U.S. title match. I feel AJ Styles is definitely going to be a third wheel. I kind of hope they do bring up the WrestleMania history that AJ Styles and Shane McMahon had, but I don't think they're going to. And yeah, but I mean, I can't wait to see the match. And it makes sense to have a guest referee after the past couple of matches that they had, so I like that they kind of went in that direction. Um, so I didn't mind that. Then we had the best thing on SmackDown this week, and probably going to be the best thing in WWE this week, is the main event, the dream match between John Cena and Shinsuke Nakamura, where the winner was going to face Jinder Mahal for the WWE Championship at SummerSlam. Earlier in the night, you had Jinder Mahal and the Sin Brothers get interviewed. I really don't remember what they said, because every time Jinder Mahal just talks, I just tune him out at this point now. So yeah, but he was watching from the skybox. The only thing I don't like about this match is it's really weird that Shinsuke Nakamura and John Cena are fighting for a chance to wrestle Jinder Mahal at SummerSlam. That does not sound right. But this match I thought was really good. Shinsuke Nakamura and John Cena start playing mind games with each other. Cena does the "You Can't See Me," and Nakamura does the thing where he puts his hands on his opponent's stomach and swings his hands back and forth, and Cena pushes him off, and he talks, and then he does this, like, you can see Cena. Nakamura dominates the first half of the matchup, but then Cena hits like a belly-to-back slam, and Nakamura dominates the match for a while. He hits a kick to the ribs while Cena's on the top turnbuckle. Cena starts hitting his 5 moves of doom. He goes for the 5 knuckle shuffle. Nakamura gets him into a cross arm breaker. Cena starts holding his arms together, and Nakamura turns it into a triangle choke. But then Cena powers out of it and hits an AA on Nakamura, covers him. Nakamura kicks out. And then Cena hits a wicked clothesline on Nakamura. Nakamura hits they just start going back and forth. Nakamura hits a splash in the corner. He hits a guillotine. He gets Cena into a guillotine choke. He gets him into the cross arm breaker again. And then eventually Cena is able to turn it into the AA. And he goes to hit a second AA just for good measure. But Nakamura reverses it into a reverse exploder suplex. And then Nakamura hits the Kim Sasha for the win. And Nakamura is now going to face Jinder Mahal for the WWE Championship at SummerSlam. Afterwards, Cena holds Nakamura's hand up in respect and they shake hands. And I thought this was really shocking, actually. I did not expect Shinsuke Nakamura to win this match at all. I expected Cena to be the one to face Jinder Mahal at SummerSlam because of the segment from last week, and that's where it seemed like it was going. But instead, they went with Shinsuke Nakamura. And not only did he beat John Cena, he beat John Cena clean. And not a lot of superstars can say that they've beaten Cena clean. One thing I am happy about Cena not being a part-timer now is now he's losing matches clean. And it really doesn't hurt his character all that much. If only they could happen on pay-per-view. But I'm happy. But I'm going to take it as I can get it. Now, I did hear that the only reason he did lose clean was the WWE accidentally revealed the finish, what the actual finish was of the match, that the finish was supposed to be that Baron Corbin was going to try to cost Nakamura the match, but he accidentally cost Cena. That was going to set up a match between them at SummerSlam. And because that happened, I think the WWE changed plan. They had Cena lose clean, and quite frankly, that made it better, because now you have Shinsuke Nakamura who's beaten Cena clean. Now he looks like a valuable contender to go after that WWE Championship at SummerSlam. Even though it's to Jinder Mahal, but still, he looks like a threat to Jinder Mahal. And I do hope that we do get a new WWE Champion at SummerSlam. You had Nakamura beat Cena clean. Why not pull the trigger on him and have him win the title at SummerSlam, and maybe have him lose it? Because I don't know if you want to have Nakamura be the WWE Champion all the way to WrestleMania. Maybe have him lose it, and then have Styles win it at some point. And you have Styles, and you have Nakamura win the Rumble. You have Styles Nakamura at the WrestleMania for the WWE Championship. Or you can do vice versa. You can have Styles win the Rumble and have Styles and Nakamura for the WWE title with Nakamura going in as champion. But I really would like to see Shinsuke Nakamura versus AJ Styles for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania. And actually, you know what? This is still kind of for one night, Shinsuke Nakamura looked like he was actually, he wasn't just another guy on the roster. He actually looked like he was special. They actually did right on this night. Does this kind of change what they've done with him since he's come to WWE? No, but this definitely makes up for it a little bit. The fact that he looked like a strong force to be reckoned with, and now when he goes into facing Jinder Mahal, you don't know if he's going to win the WWE Championship. And yeah, that was SmackDown. No, well, I actually thought SmackDown was a pretty decent show. I enjoyed the Fashion File segment. I enjoyed the United States Championship match and the setup to the title match at SummerSlam. I enjoyed the Rusev Chad Gable match and the Randy Orton Rusev segment, and I enjoyed the dream match between John Cena and Shinsuke Nakamura. And you know, I'm really hoping that Shinsuke Nakamura takes that WWE Championship from Jinder Mahal. And like I said, even though it did have its negatives, I definitely think because the positives were so positive, it definitely made up. It definitely overweighed the negatives a little bit. So if I had to rate this show, I actually thought this was a good show here. I'm going to rate it a 7 out of 10. And the past 2 weeks, SmackDown's actually been pretty good lately. Hopefully, SmackDown can continue on this trend. We're going to have to wait and see. So, yeah, let's find out. So, as you can see, I actually thought SmackDown was better than Raw this week. I thought they did a better job of building up to SummerSlam angles. I thought they had better matches on this show, like Nakamura, Cena, and it had Nakamura defeated John Cena clean. It had Rusev versus Chad Gable, and it had U.S. title match. I thought SmackDown did a very good job building up to SummerSlam, whereas Raw was just bland as hell. Um, it had a lot of segments that fell flat and a lot of stuff I just didn't care about on Raw. So I overall thought SmackDown was better. So yeah, SmackDown was better than Raw. And that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you guys for watching this video. Please make sure you like, comment, and share this video. Share this video on any social media site, whether that's Facebook, Twitter, um, you know, or any other site out there. Can't really think of anything but like Facebook, Twitter, maybe on your own YouTube channel, anywhere. Um, but yeah, make sure you do that. Make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel itself, and you click on that bell so that way every time I upload a video on this channel, you'll get the notification for it. Make sure you do the same for my Wrestling Fortune 44 and on the Talkinator YouTube channels. And make sure you click on the bell so that way every time I upload a video on those channels, you'll get the notification for it. And that's pretty much it, guys. Talk to you later.